What's up? This is Ted from Marketing. I'm going to go over my first round match in Solo Cup, the second one for the Manix community and Discord for Access and Allies Online. My first round, I drew Checkmate, who will be playing the Axis, and I will be playing the Allies. So let's get into it. So Russia won, all standard stuff. 4 infantry, 2 tanks. I think is forever the meta, at least until it changes, of course, right? So did the 12-9. Had a had a pretty good West Russia here, actually. Missed everything in the first row, but everything else hit really well. So, and he did not have a lot of hitbacks. So yeah, and I get one more hit back here. So yeah, really good, above average West Russia. I think average is three infantry losses. I only had 2, so good above average loss rate. And so Ukraine. Somehow I must have thought I didn't put everything in there, but I did. I counted it all up. So yeah, the first and second round bit, but everything that all the tanks and fighters hit, which is really fantastic. And he only got 1 hit back. And he selected his bomber to go early first. So I did get the bomber, which is the main thing I'm after. I gave it a lot of thought as to whether or not I should continue. I cut it here, but I gave it a really lot of thought. I decided to press on and just kill the fighter and the tank. So he got 1 more hit back. Again, which is an awesome Ukraine. So very good round 1 for Russia. I am going to move the AA gun up there because I had such a great round into Ukraine as well. I'm just going to check my defense profiles and actually have the guns go first to make it even tougher. And then I'm going to put 1 fighter up into Archangel and the other one into Caucasus. Archangel fighter, I just like having the flexibility of it up there. I mean, obviously, if you don't have such a great round 1, you may need to defend Caucasus so they don't use the battleship and transport to take it. But I felt confident. But having the fighter up there in Archangel really helps in. It really helps in if for whatever reason the UK needs both of its fighters to kill all the naval units. You can still get that German transport with the Russian fighter if you had to. So it just gives me some more options. So anyway, that's it. That's it for Russia round 1. On to we'll be back for UK 1. Okay, this is UK 1 in the Solo Cup 2 for the Manix community against Checkmate. He had a slightly above average Germany 1. My Russia 1 I think was better than his Germany 1, but it certainly was slightly better than average. So it was a pretty good turn from him. He bought 11 infantry, 2 artillery, took Karelia undefended. C-Zone 17, he got the destroyer. He lost 1 infantry in Transjordan taking that. A pretty average result in Ukraine. He won the coin flip in C-Zone 10 and took out my destroyer and transport, so good for him. And then had a fairly average C-Zone 7. So all in all, if you include the coin flip in C-Zone 10, that's why I say it's a slightly above average, because he did win that. So I decided to do 3 infantry and 2 fighters, since I could probably drop a 3, but it didn't make a lot of sense. I did mull it over for quite a while. I decided to just do the 3 infantry and 2 fighters. So yeah, I'm gonna take back Transjordan, and I'm gonna do the C-Zone 61 with the carrier and the fighter. So that means I am not gonna kill the battleship in the Mediterranean this turn. Kind of wrestled with that. I usually do try to kill the battleship in the Mediterranean on turn 1, but this time I wanted to kind of save doing this, letting it live in at least another turn. Hopefully don't let it live that long, but letting it live a little longer allows me to save my aircraft carrier in off of India. So It's kind of why I did it. So hopefully that pays off for me. So Transit Jordan. Yeah, just you got them, and yeah, he got a hit back, so it's kind of unfortunate. Not looking for that, but it was a win anyway. So Scene Zone 61. This does give me a better shot at Season 61 too, doing the cruiser and the fighter. So I was successful there, no hits back. So, you know, pretty good round, I guess, pretty average. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do actually, since I'm letting the battleship live, I'm going to evacuate one guy from India into East Africa and this allows me to save the aircraft carrier. The cruiser I'm going to move up with the submarine. I hopefully take it out with the Americans. That's the plan, at least. The fighters are going to go into West Russia. Obviously, I killed the transport with that fighter. And I did not do a strategic bombing raid this round. I'm kind of hesitant to, because I kind of need my bomber later to kill the battleships. So, my rule of thumb is if I have plans for the bomber in the next round or two, I tend to not do the strategic bombing raid. At least, especially if those plans are really vital to what I'm doing. Don't want to risk losing it. So I did not do a strategic bombing raid and just repositioned it instead into West Russia. So yeah, I'm gonna take the one guy from New Zealand and move everything east. Stack everybody in Western Australia. Since he did take out my transport, I don't need my tank in Eastern Canada, so I moved him to Western Canada, just to kind of deter any idea or notion of Japan going up through Alaska. So, just an extra little thing. So yeah, I just did my mobilization, and that's it. So I will be back for US 1, Russia 2. Okay, so this is US 1. Japan 1, he brought 3 transports, 1 infantry, 1 tank. Pretty standard, pretty good that he gets up to 4 infantry right away. He only lost 1 infantry in Yunnan, and he won in Buryatia, and had a pretty good Pearl Harbor, and he had a pretty good land invasion in Asia there. He only lost 2 infantry if you count the one in Buryatia. So it was actually a very strong Japan opening, and kind of on par with my Russia opening, I would say. So he's starting to pull back into this game after that. What would be a disastrous Russia 1 for him. So I decided to get a destroyer, 2 infantry, 2 transports, and a carrier. So the destroyer, I'm going to need a pretty big fleet here to deal with things. I'm going to try to attack the sub. I thought about this, but I thought better of it, decided not to. So just doing the submarine fight. So that's the only combat that I'm doing. So hopefully I can get this, and I do. And no hit back, so good. Submarine's gone. He has 1 submarine there in C-Zone 7, so we'll have to deal with that later. But at least we should be okay for the time being. So I'm moving everything east. After that Japan opening and what I did with UK, I mean, it really is pretty much a KGF at this point. So I am bringing everything east. I will need, I do like to build a destroyer there. It gives me options, the destroyer, if I decide to do, right now I'm setting up for a Finland shuck, which is usually kind of a plan A for me. But yeah, I always kind of take what's given to me. In this case, Finland should be open, or is open now, but I do want to have that flexibility to make other choices later. So, yep, so anyway, that's US 1. So I'm going to put the destroyer and transports in and set up for that. Okay, for Russia round 2, gonna buy 4 infantry, 4 artillery. Pretty standardized, pretty aggressive, but considering I had such a great round 1, I think it's an order to do that, to push it with the artillery to upgrade. So that's what I'm gonna mostly my idea is obviously gonna mostly do infantry from here on out, but I'm gonna try to take back Ukraine and Belarus as well, if I can, and Karelia. So I'm a little ambitious here to try to take all three, but I have the odds to do that, so I'm gonna do it. Should be able to take all three without a problem. I do kind of fumble around as to how I'm going to do that. Obviously, I don't want to overcommit, but I want to allocate enough to actually take the territories, because I can certainly afford to do that. So the only thing that's kind of iffy is Karelia. The other two should go pretty straightforward. So here's Ukraine. Ukraine was it was a crazy. If it was any other situation, that would be like a candidate for crazy dice, because I had rolled 3 1s and a 2 on that, so it was pretty amazing. Obviously didn't need all those hits, but it was still good. So took Ukraine, Karelia, and Belarus. I'm gonna pay for that luck here, because he got 2 hits back. So I was able, and he got 3 hits. So that one, or those 3 infantry rolled 1s every single time. So it's kind of a crazy round. I overperformed in Ukraine when I didn't need to. I was only 2 guys there, so I went a little crazy there, and I severely underperformed in Belarus. Obviously, I would have preferred that to be flip-flopped just a little bit, because I had more troops allocated to Belarus. So I did not take Belarus. I'm kind of a little salty about that. As it is, but I'm trying to put my tanks in Caucasus if I can get away with it. Mainly tanks in Caucasus are a really good strategic approach for me, because the idea is that it can help out India if needed. So if he makes a veer towards India, I can throw some tanks down into India, some Russian tanks if I need to help support that. So. Anyway, that's all I have for Russia 2. Be back for UK 2. Okay, back for UK round 2. The SoloCup 2 versus Checkmate. So to look at his round 2, he had some good trades. He destroyed 2 infantry, 1 artillery. Only lost an artillery. Infantry, and he also took back Belarus as well. So he's had some pretty good trades. I'm going to do 2 transports here and a fighter, 3 infantry for India, obviously. Going to take back Egypt as well. So the 2 transports, kind of an aggressive move, but I should be able to get away with it, even if I'm not dropping an aircraft carrier. I'm going to support with the U.S. fleet, so I feel like I can get away with that. But I am going to take out that battleship now. It's time. So this time I'm going to send 3 fighters and a bomber to it, so it should be enough to get it. And in fact, everything hits. He does hit back, so I'm going to lose a fighter there, but obviously a pretty good trade for me. So yeah, it ended up living 1 extra round than normal, but the benefit is I get to save my aircraft carrier doing it this way. So I think it was a good trade altogether. So I am gonna try to move up into C-Zone 17. Obviously I don't get to, because I just took Egypt, so I have to wait a turn to do that. So I'm gonna actually just consolidate everything into Egypt for now. So yeah, and move into C-Zone 34. And obviously going to support my new transports with the cruiser, and then I'm going to move those guys up, obviously. So yeah, I'm actually going to redo this move. I'm going to take these 2 infantry and consolidate everybody into Egypt. So I should be able to move into the Mediterranean next turn. So that's what I'll be doing. So yeah, I'm gonna drop my 3 infantry and my 2 transports and my fighter in London as well. So I'm gonna support with the U.S. fleet, so I should be okay doing that since his fighters are far enough away that he can't attack Sea Zone 7 right now. So that's kind of the idea with this. So all he can really get to me is with that submarine. So it should be safe with the U.S. fleet supporting. So anyway, that's all I have. I'll be back for U.S. 2. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a streamlined round 2 for U.S. I've already done my combat moves, so I'm just going to review what Japan did. They bought 5 infantry on artillery and an industrial complex, and put it in Manchuria. They took Sinkiang, Sichuan, and Yakut. He actually suffered a pretty bad defeat there in Yakut, unfortunately, for him, that is. So yeah, they lost. What did they lose? They lost. He lost 2 infantry and a fighter. I didn't lose anything, so this was kind of a little bit of a disaster for him here. He sent 3 infantry and it was obviously a fighter and artillery, so that didn't work out well for him. So it's kind of his first unfortunate trade of the match so far. So yeah, a bit of a break for us, I guess. I just, with the US, I just took Morocco. I bought 3 transports, 5 infantry, and an artillery. Yeah, that's all I did. So I'm here doing my non-combat move. I'm moving up into Sea Zone 7 to support the UK quote-unquote fleet that I've created, which is not really much. This consists of a single cruiser right now. So yeah, I'm moving along. I am going to move my stuff into the Mediterranean and kind of link up soon, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So I did move more of my fleet into Sea Zone 13. I moved up into Sea Zone 12. So I am preparing. He stacked Karelia, so he wants to kind of deny me the Finland shuck. So I am kind of setting up for an alternate Mediterranean shuck at this point. So obviously the first move is to go into Morocco and secure that. If I'm doing that, and and then kind of set up for that. So I have 4 transports coming. I have 8 transports total. So I need to get up. I need to really increase my production of transports. That's what I'm going for at this point. So also with the Soviet Union or Russia, took Belarusia. He didn't have anybody there, so I took it. Ukraine, I did not get a great trade in Ukraine. So the season of bad trades has continued. He got one in Yakut earlier, and I was served one here on Russia's turn where I lost 4 infantry, and I lost 3 infantry and artillery to his 4. So not really great trades for me. But we'll try to persevere. So yeah, this is kind of a fast track round. This is the non-combat movement. Obviously, I need to move somebody over into Novo. I kind of did the split in Yakut. 3 guys moved west, and 1 I moved into the Soviet Far East, just so that he has to take an extra turn to go and take that. Just a delaying tactic really is all I can do with Russia. So I kind of split my guys to do that. So we'll have to take an extra turn to go take the Soviet Far East. But yeah, I obviously moved out of Yakut. I won't be able to take that. I did buy 9 infantry, so I'll put 4 in Caucasus and 5 in Russia. So that's it for UK 3. So I will be back for UK 3. Okay, so this is UK3. So he bought 13 infantry and 1 artillery, a lot of infantry coming into Europe. Had some good trades. He only lost 1 infantry in Belarusia, taking everything back, and everything else he took without losses. So great trades for him in round 3. Yeah, kind of unfortunate for me. So I'm just going to do 1 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 tanks, and a fighter. Usually not buying tanks this early in round 3 with the UK, which is kind of this kind of a wacky game at the beginning for me. I didn't buy an aircraft carrier in the Atlantic. Just wackiness all around. And really, I just don't usually buy tanks, but the main reason I'm doing this is to help support Russia. I can drop them off in India, and they can be in Caucasus in one move. So it's kind of what my thought process here. My thought process is here. I should have enough in London to load up the transports that I have, so I don't really need to replenish that. So that it's kind of a strange buy. This is a strange turn all the way around for me. I don't normally do this type of thing. So I'm going to go take Sweden. I'm going to take Finland with the US, so I'm just taking Sweden right now. Finland with the US obviously gives me options to put a industrial complex there. I'm going to do a strategic bombing raid on Berlin, which is always, white-knuckled and scary. So that's really the only attacks that I'm doing. So I'm going to look away from my screen and cross my fingers and hope I don't, meet with some bad news. And I don't. I roll a 3, which is good. I'll take anything. I'll even take a 1. I don't care as long as my bomber survives. Usually, I'm happy with that. So West Russia should be good. So I am moving a lot of guys to help support Russia. So the idea is that I'm going to be moving out of West Russia. So I'm going to have to trade West Russia back and forth. So I'm moving all my planes out of here. So 2 fighters into season 15 for my aircraft carriers coming through. Gonna move my my cruiser up to the Sweden area, and then move these guys up to Eastern Canada. Submarine's gonna go into the Pacific to cause some havoc. It's not really gonna do much in the Atlantic, so I might as well put it. It very rarely does anything in the Pacific, but it certainly has more potential there to do it. I'm gonna do this wacky move where I take some artillery out of London and move it over to East Canada, which is kind of strange, but that's where my transports are going to be right now. So I'm just trying to stay out of range of his fighters. He doesn't have a bomber, so but this does give me options to go, to transport into Sweden or to go into Western Europe or Holland or Northwestern Europe. So that's why I'm moving kind of west into Canada. Just gives me a staging point, essentially. So I'm gonna mess around with my defense profile. This is the keep destroyer alive, which is obviously I need to do because he has a submarine in just north of the Karelia, so I have to account for that. And I'm gonna prioritize my fighters over my cruisers. So it's kind of given some thought as to what my defense profile will be. I got to make sure the destroyer lives so that I can subvert some of the sneak attack that could possibly happen. So, especially since I'm only have 2 cruisers and a destroyer up there to defend, and he could bring a fighter into that fight. So I have to be prepared for that sort of thing. So I am moving close into Syria, or into Iran. The idea is to help support Russia. He doesn't seem to be going for India, which is fine, I guess. I actually kind of secretly hope he does go for India, because it relieves a little pressure off Russia. But he's not. And if he decides to, I can obviously circle back and come back and defend India if I need to. So yeah, I'm going to drop my 3 tanks in India and my 1 fighter in London. So that's pretty much it for UK 3. I will be back for US 3 and Russia 4. Okay, so this is US 3. I forgot to mute my mic on this one, so bear with me if I'm breathing into the mic. But he went into Alaska in round 3. I don't know exactly what his idea is here. I don't know whether he actually wants to make a serious threat to the U.S. mainland or not, but obviously I have to respond to this. I'm not thrilled with seeing Alaska. He went into Evenki with his tanks and destroyed. He had an okay trade. Obviously 1 hit back in Kazakh. So I'm gonna buy 8 infantry, 2 artillery, and I gotta buy transports. I gotta still ramp up on the transports even in round 3. So that's what I'll be doing. That's what I did actually. I'm kind of actually in my combat move here. So he bought 1 transport, 7 infantry, and 2 artillery. And yeah, obviously we said we already went to Alaska. He took cut. There's nobody there. He destroyed the 1 infantry in Soviet Far East. He did lose 2 infantry taken in Venki, which is great for me. And then he traded 1 for 1 in Kazakh. So not fantastic trades for him in this round. So it helped me out a little bit. So that's what I'm buying. Is this 8 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 transport. So as you can tell, I'm not particularly thrilled with what's happened. So I am going to continue with the plan, at least for the time being. I'm going to go into Finland. So since he moved into Tunisia there, I'm actually going to, or Algeria or Libya, one of those, whatever those are. I'm gonna move in and I'm gonna attack that right away, just to get rid of it, just to secure Africa once and for all for the Allies. So that's kind of the thought there. Hopefully I have some guys left over to move into Italy next turn, but yeah, I just need to clear out Libya. So 5 infantry, 3 fighters, and a tank. So I got 2 hits. Great, not fantastic hits for me, but he got some really cruddy hits back. So that's a good thing for me. So was able to kill the rest of his units. Yeah. So I mean, not a great round for him. He only killed 1 of my infantry. So actually good for me on that one. That really helped. Kind of makes up for some other deficiencies that I'm gonna have later on, but in this round I think, or maybe not in this round. And good thing I brought the bomber. He didn't end up killing that destroyer. He rolled the 1 to get the destroyer. So yeah, not a great trade, but that submarine's dead. That's the main thing. So gonna land in Moscow and Caucasus. Like I said, I plan on moving out of West Russia. Unfortunately, I just can't hold West Russia anymore. So the idea is that for me, I feel like you can hold Africa, India, and West Russia. You can hold 2 of those 3. But holding 3 of those 3 is very difficult. So in this case, West Russia is the one that loses out. So I'm going to have to move out of there. So I am setting up for a full Mediterranean shuck at this point in Morocco, and kind of responding to the Alaska threat. So unfortunately, I am gonna drop the transport there, but a lot of my buy is gonna go into Western U.S. just to make sure that's secure. So yeah, that's Russia. Or, I'm sorry, that's US 3. Yeah. Russia 4. Um, gonna do, I believe I'm gonna do 9 infantry here. Obviously, it looks like that's the way to go. Yeah, after my last few rounds, that's kind of the way Russia's in, you know, in full-on defensive at this point. So, 9 infantry is really the way to go. So, I'm gonna take back Archangel. I won't be able to trade everything I want to. Trades are getting hard to come by now that Japan's on my doorstep as well. So just trying to take Ukraine and Archangel back. That's kind of the idea. So hopefully I can take those two. Need to save as much and conserve as many infantry as I possibly can. This should be a win, which it is. Good, and just get one hit back. So you know, not terrible. Ukraine's kind of iffy. We'll see how it goes. 2 infantry versus 2 infantry and a fighter. So all misses. All misses first round. Good, good. Oof. All misses again. Oof. Uh-oh. This is now it's nervous time, especially since I'm missing. Okay. Whew. Whew. That was really nervous. So I did actually end up taking Ukraine, so thank goodness. All right, so now it's full evacuation from Western Russia. I gotta make sure I leave one infantry there, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, I was not able to take Kazakh, but the plan is to take Kazakh with the UK. So I'll kind of clear that out. Fighter's gonna go into Caucasus. Yeah, just gonna put some guys in Novo there to protect. So anyway, that's all I have for Russia 4. Just trying to hang on as long as I can. So 4 there, 5 there, and we'll see if that'll be enough for us. So I'll be back for UK 4. Okay, so we're back for UK 4. He repaired his industrial complex, bought 10 infantry and 2 artillery. Took back Ukraine. West Russia lost an infantry, and was not able to take Archangel. They destroyed everything there, so a little bit of a break for me. So that'll be nice. I won't have to actually fight for Archangel this turn. Need to keep those tanks out of Russia, so I'll be able to do a full 11 infantry deployment this turn. I won't be able to get all 4 of my transport, but it'll be close. I'll be close to having 4 of my transports, so you know, I might as well get the infantry. Logistics aren't 100% there, but you know, I'll get it straightened out next turn. So I'm going to take back Kazakh, at least going to try to. Should be able to with all that. And just enough. I just got 2 hits, no hits back, so good trade there. So I don't need the fighters in Russia, so right now, so I am gonna put a few down in India, and Cox is a great staging point for just about anywhere I want to go. Right now, it's nice middle of the map, so I'm gonna put most of my planes there for now. I'm gonna move up. He's not going, since he's still not going for India. I'm still moving some stuff to help out Russia. So the Canadians, I gotta go back and I gotta try to take back Alaska. I'm gonna do it with the Canadians, I think, and that should have 3 cruisers, and in season 3 that should be enough to hold off the 3 fighters. Although, yeah, it's not a great defense, but it's good enough. I don't think he'll risk those 3 fighters. So I am going to move my aircraft carrier that I've saved from turn one, and it's going to be now my new aircraft carrier in the Atlantic. So that ended up paying off for me. So yeah, I'm gonna dump all my infantry. So yeah, fairly good round for me. So that's it. I'll be back for US 4, Russia 5. So back for round 4 US. He bought 8 infantry and artillery and an industrial complex, which he placed in Kwangtung. Interesting. Pretty. I don't know, I guess that's standard. Feels early, but I guess it's pretty standard. He did swing south and take the Hawaiian Islands, and he rolled a 6 on his bombing raid. So lovely for me. Not loving that. With his going for the Hawaiian Islands, and his arrangement of defenses in Europe, it looks like he's trying to set up for a VC snipe, although he still has to get India, which is kind of a tall task at this point. But yeah, he's 8 of 9, so I gotta just make sure that doesn't happen, obviously. So I bought 8 infantry, a fighter, and a transport. I'll be able to go into Italy now with this turn. So obviously the ideas of a VC snipe are hopefully not a reality. Not that much of a chance of becoming a reality. So yeah, I should be able to take it. Transports in, send my planes in, my bomb, and my fighter, which is going to land on the aircraft carrier, and then my battleship. I got to make sure that I'm bombarding from the right sea zone. Good. And then I'm going to try to take West Russia. Well, I really just want to kill that infantry. I really want Russia to take it, but yeah, it's trying to utilize Russia's, infantry and planes as little as possible. So hopefully I can just kill that infantry. So yeah, good. No air defense, and I missed with my bombardment, unfortunately. But I did get quite a good round 1 hit. So slightly above average hit back, I guess. But I am going to take it. So, and that's not good. But I take it as the main thing. So slightly below average, but it is what it is. So West Russia. Okay. Yeah, I took it. Didn't want to, but that's what happens, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to Caucasus with at least one of them, and one's gonna land on the aircraft carrier. Actually, I guess 2 is gonna land on the aircraft carrier. There we go. And the bomber's gonna go back to Caucasus. So, and the destroyer's gonna go north to support the UK fleet once it finally consolidates together. Fighter's gonna go back probably to Caucasus, or no, go there, I guess. No, it won't. I don't think it'll go there. So yeah, I do have to kind of defend Mexico, which is kind of silly, but he is in striking distance there. I have the feeling he's going to go towards Australia, but I never know. So I do have to do that, especially if he may try to go to Panama and come through the canal there to attack my fleet in the Atlantic. Who knows? I don't know. He can do a lot of things, so I gotta be prepared for most of that stuff. So yeah, I'm just moving the rest of the troops east. I'm gonna leave those guys in Libya for now, because I can pick them up and drop them in Italy next turn. So Alright, gonna drop my stuff in. Yeah, I'm setting up for a full Mediterranean shuck now, so I'm gonna be mass producing transports here, even though I already have I think 10 on the board right now. I'm gonna get quite a bit more. So Russia's turn. I think I'm just gonna buy infantry, you know, obviously. Should be able to just buy 6, yeah. I don't think artillery is the right. Yeah. Okay, I did. Yeah. Infantry is really just the way I go. I'll just bank the 2 for now. So, you know, obviously Russia's in full defense mode at this point, but I am going to try to take back Ukraine. Because U.S. took West Russia, I can use both my fighters to try to take Ukraine. So, kind of nice. So I'm gonna make a stand in Kazakh, and yeah, the reason I want to obviously hold him right there. I don't really want him because he could stack Kazakh if I didn't do this. So I'm going to do that ahead of time. And since Germany seems content to stay in Karelia, he wants to really prevent me from coming in through the north. I feel like I can get away with stacking Kazakh, stacking the south. So put the infantry in, and it should be good. The tanks are still in striking distance from to help support India if I have to, if he makes a major play out on that. Yeah, I'm ahead 27 points there, so yeah, it's looking good so far. So anyway, I'll be back for UK's turn. Okay, so this is UK 5. I'll take a look at what Germany did. About 11 infantry and artillery, so he's loading up on the infantry. Obviously, he's in full defense mode too. Took back Germany. Only lost 1 infantry doing it. Lost 1 infantry taking back Ukraine. Took West Russia with nothing, and no losses in Archangel as well. So pretty good round for him. He took back quite a few territories. Not gonna do a full deployment this time. I'm just doing 9 infantry, 1 artillery. So I'll be able to actually use all 8 of those infantry in the UK, because I'll be able to consolidate my fleet in Sea Zone 8 or 6. So whatever I want to do. And I'm gonna do it in Sea Zone 8. So I am gonna go and try to take France. Should be able to with 8 infantry. And 2 bombardments and 3 planes, 4 planes too. If you count my bombers, should be able to do it. So I should have a fighter. I should have a bomber as well. So yeah, that should be enough to take that. So yeah, I mean, we should be good. So yeah, I'm gonna try to take West Russia and Ukraine also. Yeah, should be able to do it, because I'll be able to take the 1 fighter and move it back down into India after this turn. So yeah, this looks good. Take it back. I forgot to take Alaska. We gotta do that. And what the heck, I'll try Burma too. Yeah, just Burma's good because his fighters are in Xinjiang, so he can't attack India if I take Burma. So he will have a place to land. So yeah, hopefully this will be a good round for me. So yeah. So one bombardment. So defenses. So six hits back. Yeah, I did know this as I'm doing post commentary here. This one hurt a lot. The 6, and so much so that I'm actually just in shock that happened. I'm looking at the dice log. It's the multipliers that got me. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. With 8 infantry getting 6 hits, I mean, that's just a killer. So I gotta retreat the aircraft, and I didn't even get one more with those 2 guys. So yeah, it was quite a disaster in France. I should have been able to take that, but some bad dice. It was rough. So Ukraine, and I didn't get to take Ukraine, so I have to retreat there. So some more bad dice. Let's see how this one goes. Alright, 2 hits. Good. Alright, I took West Russia back. And Burma. Should be able to infantry 2 fighters. Got 1 hit. Back. And that got 2 hits back. So I didn't get to take Burma either. So yeah. All in all, this was a really bad turn. I mean, this is where things turned against me. Last round I was up 27 points. It's going to take a few rounds for this disaster to kind of bear out, but yeah, this was bad. This turned the tides of what I was doing. It's pretty rough to deal with. So I'll have to. I was really planning on being in in France and in Italy this turn, and I'm going to be able to do both of those now. So really unfortunate. So I'll move the submarine over. I'm going to defend Eastern Australia just to make it harder for him to take. Canadians are going to move into Western U.S. That was I remember that. Yeah, and I do this a lot. I don't know why I do this. I just torture myself. Whenever I get the tough beats like that, I'm just in complete shock that I have to like review it and relive it in order to make sure that it's real, because I just can't believe that happened. It's not the first time that I do that, but yeah. Anytime something, that devastating happens, I don't know why I do it. I just relive it. It's rough. So yeah, some old notes cleaning up. So I'll just make some new ones. I'm gonna make I'm gonna have the U.S. move the cruiser and the destroyer here. So, or just the cruiser, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing with the destroyer, but yeah, just the cruiser. Maybe I'm moving the destroyer back down south to help there, because eventually I'm gonna have to defend 3 sea zones at least. So I'm making some notes to myself. So the destroyer, I am gonna move it down there. So just the cruiser in sea zone 8, and the destroyers are gonna move there to set up for reset up for the for France and for Italy. And it all has to do with the bomb, the Japanese bomber that's just sitting in Karelia. I have to account for that because that can go all the way out into Sea Zone 8 and get, you know, escorted transports if I'm not careful. So drop the troops in and go sulk a little bit. And yeah, I'll be back for the US round 5. So this is this is US round 5. I'm gonna apologize in advance for some of the background noise. Unfortunately, I didn't mute my mic, so there'll be a little bit of background noise for this voiceover. So Japan did 12 infantry and a tank. Rolled a 4 on his bombing raid. Took New Zealand and Vologda. So we'll have to do some trades with Russia, unfortunately. So I bought 1 infantry, 2 transports, 2 destroyers, and a bomber. Again, destroyers, as I mentioned before, now that I'm in full Mediterranean shuck, I'll need to be able to defend some sea zones, although most of those planes are in Karelia, so I don't need to do that much, but I do want to have the options of defending Sea Zone 14 if I want to track France with the US, and Sea Zone 15. So just to have you know, some of my options open is really what I am. But yeah, I will need those destroyers to do that. So I am attacking Italy. Should be able to get them good. Alright. So I took Italy back. Hopefully I can take Archangel back for Russia. Nope, I guess not. So I'll have to do that with Russia. Just getting some really bad trades this round. This round's not been good to me. And the unfortunate thing is that it's, like I said, it's going to manifest itself not right away, but in the next couple rounds, it's gonna really hurt not doing those things that I needed to do there. So yeah, I'm gonna go in to Morocco, and yeah, set up some more guys to get into Southern Europe. So now that Western U.S. is not under threat, I can move those guys out and move those guys over into Europe and as needed. So I'll be able to buy some more aircraft now with that, with not having to buy as much infantry as I'll just use the guys from the Western U.S. So yep, it should be it. I did those moves as I made notes to myself, the cruiser and the destroyers to Sea Zone 13. So destroyers, transports, everything's going east. Yeah. So that was US 5. Not a great round. Round 5 sucked for me. Yeah, I still have a lead, but it's obviously not as big, and it's gonna shrink even more this turn because of what happened there in round 5. So yeah, his bombing raids are obviously having an effect. So I'm only gonna be able to deploy 2 guys into Moscow this turn. I'll need to try to trade Vologda and Archangel if I can. And I still am trying to hold Kazakh, keep him from stacking it, so should be able to. Once I let go of Kazakh, it's just a matter of time before he's in Moscow. So I really need to try to stand stand firm there as much as I possibly can. So this should work. There's 2 infantry and a fighter against 1 infantry or 1 artillery. Both of those should be a thing. But just with the trades I've been getting lately, I guess I'm just paranoid. I don't think that's enough. So I'm doing more. So I'm doing 3 infantry and a fighter. That should be plenty to take Archangel. And 2 infantry and an artillery piece. I'll have to commit an artillery to take Vologda. So, all right. So Archangel first. So 3 infantry, 1 fighter. This should be enough. All right, good. Unfortunately, what being snake bit by some of those bad trades means now that I'm actually overcommitting in a lot of cases. So that's an overcommit in Archangel in here too, unfortunately. So, but we take him back, which is the important thing. So, all right. So good trades that turn. I'll try to strike a different, a more upbeat tone. Try not to wallow in some of the unfortunate situations that have happened. So yeah, pretty good round for Russia there. So I'll take it. So yep, I'll be back for UK 6 then. So this is UK 6. So take a look at what he did. 10 infantry, 2 artillery. Took back Germany, only lost 2. Took back Ukraine with no losses, and took back West Russia with 1 loss. So good trades for him all the way around. Trying to recover from a very poor UK 5, round 5. So yeah, so I did a full deployment, 11 infantry. Should be good to go with that. I'm going to be landing in France here. I'm kind of looking around the map, but just trying to see, because I do have to be prepared, because he has 8 victory cities, so I got to really be prepared for a play towards India. Although he won't be able to hold all the victory cities by the end of the map, or by the end of the round. So I think I'm well past a VC snipe scenario, but still. So yeah, I'm gonna take Burma again to deny him landing spots for his fighters if he does decide to go after India. Although he does have an aircraft carrier, so that's always an option. So yeah, I'm gonna go into northwestern Europe and into France. Hopefully this goes better, but we'll see in just a moment. So, and I'm gonna do 2 infantry there, so should be enough to take it. And I think I'm going to take the 1 fighter from Caucasus and use it as well. So, just to be extra sure, this is how snake bit I am. I'm like overkilling everything. 4 fighters to that one infantry. But yeah, you never know. I've been rolling really terribly. So France. And my bombardments, I got 1 out of 2, which is typical, and he gets 2 hits. 2 hits from his AA gun. It's just speeds more to my my depression. And I didn't get any hits, or I got 1 hit there. I didn't get any hits on this second round, and he gets 1 back. It's like, oh my god. And then I finally get 1 hit with the bomber. And I do eventually kill it all, and he gets 1 hit back for good measure. So yeah, that was a bad trade. That was a bad trade. I did take it, but oh my gosh, there's a lot of material I lost taking that. It was rough. So, anyway, go after Burma, I guess. There should be plenty. Again, overkill, but yeah, it's all dead. Again, gonna try to hold firm in Kazakh. Only got the one fighter now to land on the aircraft carrier. Just, those ran. You kind of plan for those, but like, God, it really sets you back when you have those terrible situations. Again, I'm gonna relive it because that's what I do every time. Every time I get some bad news, I'm like, that can't have possibly have happened. Let me check. Yeah, it did. It for real happened. So, anyway, just gonna have to deal with it. Hopefully it gets better. So, yeah, put all my infantry in. So yeah, that's UK 6. So I will be back for US 6 and Russia 7. Okay, so this is US 6. 11 infantry, 1 tank, and an artillery. Thankfully, he only did 1 damage to my industrial complex in Russia. Took Western Australia. Took Burma, lost 1 infantry, and took Novo, and lost nothing. So good trades for him. That must be nice to have good trades. So I'm gonna do 6 infantry, 2 fighters, and a transport. So I'm gonna be moving my stuff from western to eastern, or at least to central US, I guess, to be picked up by transports. So I don't need to buy that much infantry this turn, since I had it to defend the western US. Now I'm gonna use it in Europe, so I'll be able to spend on some aircraft, which I will need in dozens of, apparently, to deal with the bad trades that I've been the victim of, unfortunately, last couple rounds. So yeah, obviously it can't continue like that, but you know, just more planes are gonna be better. So yeah, let's go back into Italy and Southern Europe. So I only did 1 infantry into Southern Europe, doing a battleship bombardment. I only did 6 infantry into Italy, 3 fighters and a bomber, and a shore bombardment. That should be enough. Good hits, but he had some fantastic hits back in round 1. So yeah, not so good. And round 2 didn't go so well for me. So yeah, I actually don't take Italy this round because of that. In retrospect, I guess I should have gone in heavier there, but my goodness, I wasn't expecting 4 hits back on the first round and so many misses on the second round. It just was unexpected. More poor trades by me. This one I can't 100% blame it on. I mean, it was below average output, but I probably shouldn't have gone into Southern Europe. I probably should have sent everything into Italy, and just to be sure that, you know, it's such a cheap cop-out excuse to blame bad dice for everything. This one, I should have done it differently, so I'll take the blame for this one. See, I'm gonna fumble around with my transports here, but yeah, I'm gonna move stuff from central US and get everything as much as I can into Morocco. So yeah, I'm in full Mediterranean Shuck, I got 12 transports, so 4, 4, and 4. Gonna up it to 5, 5, and 5 here soon. That's the plan, at least. And that's why I'm doing one transport at a time. So that one transport's gonna move into season 13, obviously, next round, and then the round after that, it's gonna be into season 15. And then if I buy a transport every round, that'll get me 5, 5, and 5. If I want to get up to 6, 6, and 6, I gotta do transport every round for 5 more rounds. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. Depending on what transpires, obviously, you know, gotta always change strategy based on what your opponent gives you. So do 6 infantry, yeah, as normal here. Yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher to trade three territories with Russia. Obviously, I'm gonna have to either I'm gonna use a tank or some more fighters. I don't know that this is my final. Yeah, this isn't my final deployment. Gonna try to reconfigure this to get me a little better odds. I'm actually losing now as far as attack bar. I'm down by 1. So those last 2 rounds, the bad trades that I've had in the last 2 rounds have caught up with me, and I'm now behind. So 3 infantry, 1 fighter against that should be enough to kill it, and it is. But they hit pretty well, so not a resounding success, but it is. Yeah, got it. So 2 infantry, or 3 infantry, and an artillery and a fighter. No hits with all that stuff. They got 2 hits. I don't know why I'm pressing on, but I am. It's just, yeah, now it's, I feel like I sent enough there that time. I don't know. 3 infantry, an artillery, and a fighter, but apparently it's not enough to get it. So again, more bad trades, which is, it's coming at pretty much the worst time for this sort of thing. Miss again on the first round. There we go. All right. The hit backs are coming like crazy though. So his troops are fighting well. Mine are just awful. I was victorious, but I only ended up with the 1 tank, so that tank's gonna obviously die this next round. So again, not another round where I got some really bad trades. And so bad that I've determined that I'm gonna have to pull out a Cossack. I just can't. I can't do that because now my inability to take Novo means that he can strike from Sinkyang with a fairly significant force if you consider the planes that he has in range as well. So I'm abandoning Cossack at this point, which is kind of the beginning of the end for Russia when you do that, but I have no choice, especially since the last few rounds have been just painful for me. Just awful. So yeah, I have to abandon it. Unfortunate, it has to be done though. So yep, I'm back in Moscow now, and that's where I'm making my final stand. So that was it for Russia 7. I'll be back for UK 7. All right, UK 7. This is where we turn things around, right? Hopefully. Gonna try to have an upbeat demeanor for this round. So yeah, Germany took back Southern Europe, took back France, only lost 1 infantry, took back Northwestern, lost 1 infantry, took back Ukraine with no losses, Archangel with no losses, and West Russia with no losses. So great round for him. Fantastic round for him. So I'm gonna do 8 infantry, an artillery, and a fighter. So not a full deployment this round. I got to replace the fighters that I lost from the last round, so I got to get another fighter in there, especially for the aircraft carrier in the Atlantic. So yep, here we go after Burma again. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take out the Nova with the UK. So yeah, I'm gonna obviously do these trades as well. There should be plenty to take out all of this stuff. So I do a lot of editing. I do a lot of thinking. So I cut this together so it looks like it's pretty fluid. It was so long since I had done my purchase phase that I forgot what I actually bought. That's why I was checking that. So yeah. So here's France. Let's see. Yeah, thank goodness I brought the bomber. All misses. 2 rounds in a row, all misses. There we go. Yeah. It's okay trade. I'll take it. Based on what I've been taking the last couple rounds, I'll take that trade. So, only 1 hit out of that. Not good. Not good. So in retrospect, I probably didn't need to pull out of Kazakh if I was taking it with the UK. I must have overanalyzed that, so that was probably a mistake to pull out of there that early. So I'm going to pick up those Canadians, bring them across. That's kind of the idea. That's why I didn't do a full infantry purchase in the UK. So figuring I'm going to bring those guys over. That, and I need to replace the fighters that I lost in France too. So that's very much on my mind. I gotta move the submarine out of there because this fleet now in Western Australia can attack India, so I actually have to have a significant defense in India now because this fleet off the coast of Western Australia can 1-2 right into there with his transports from C-160. He can link up his fleet and have it all descend on India. So I really need, and as I said, it's pretty key to keep that at least for now. Scrambling a bunch of fighters. That's one of the other reasons I had to move out of Kazakh. I wasn't able to defend Kazakh and India, and I think I made the wrong choice in retrospect. But I think I should have just pulled out of India. But yeah, it is what it is. Again, it's been so long since my purchase. I forgot what I bought. As you can see, I'm well behind now. I'm good. 14 points behind. As just a couple rounds I was 27 points ahead, so quite the swing in attack power. That's what the difference of a couple of rounds of bad trades will do for you. So the fighter on the aircraft carrier, take some infantry in India and the rest in the UK. Check my defense profile really quick. Fighters forever. Prioritizes everything other than fighters. And guns first, obviously. So in this case. So good, we're at 39. Well, 38, but I saved one from the last round. So anyway, I'm 1 point behind. So I will be back for US 7, and we'll take it from there. Alright, here's US 7. Take a look at what he did. About 5 tanks. 5 tanks. Go back to that. About 5 tanks. Wow. 5 tanks, 3 infantry, and 1 artillery. Wow, 5 tanks. Okay. He is in full-on tank mode. Good news. Lost his bomber in Russia. So good. Don't have to worry about that. He did push into Kazakh, and yeah, so that's unfortunate. But, I mean, as you should. I mean, it's not. That is. But anyway, so the U.S. I'm gonna attack Italy again. That's what I do every round. Okay. So I did kill all 6 of the infantry there with the Checkmate bomber, so just enough to take it out in 1 round. So perfect. So I actually have a substantial force there in Italy now. So he's gonna have to devote quite a bit to take that out. I kind of learned my lesson from the last round. I didn't go after Southern Europe this time. I just everything into Italy this time. Make sure I get it. So yeah, just trying to figure out what to do with my fighters. I was gonna put a couple on the aircraft carrier, but I do want some in range, you know, to hit it again next turn. So I'm gonna land some in Libya, move the aircraft gun into Algeria. So my fighters moving out of India, so just kind of setting up so that I can hit Southern Europe really hard next turn with all of my, you know, my air force. Try to destroy as many units as possible. I'm going to move both my destroyers up into Sea Zone 8. Yeah. Just to help protect the UK fleet. So, yeah. Again, 2 transports. I'm moving up into to 15 transports. So 5, 5, and 5 is kind of the goal. Right now it's 6, 5, and 4, but that'll change. So yep, that's it. So Russia 8. So yeah, I'm gonna need to put everything into Moscow, so I'm gonna have to repair quite a bit. Now that his bomber is dead, that's actually good. That's okay. He doesn't have any bombers on the map, so I don't have to worry about a CJ bomber rate, at least for this round. So, gonna push into Ukraine again using another tank. So, not thrilled with using that as my trades, but I do have to trade 3 territories, which makes it hard with 2 planes. So that's why I'm doing it. So. Yeah, more of the same, more of the bad trades. Let's see. Okay. Good. Yeah, I complained prematurely. That was fine. Three infantry, 1 fighter. Should be able to, but not if I do that. And he hit back with both. So again, more bad trades. Archangel. Yeah, that was rough. After Ukraine now. Yeah, not great, but it's okay. Good. Alright. Yeah, the Archangel trade makes it tough, unfortunately. It does mean that he could try to soften up Moscow with German tanks if he wanted to, I guess. Not this turn, probably not this turn, but you know, if I have a lot more failed attempts like that, you know, certainly could do a 1-2 punch if I'm not careful. But anyway, that's it. I'll be back for UK 8. This is UK 8. So take a look at what happened this round. He bought the 10 infantry, 2 artillery. He had some bad trades. Which is, you know, unfortunate for him. 4 tanks he lost in Ukraine. Western Russia, that was fine. It just lost infantry. Italy, it lost 5 infantry, which is good. I'll take that trade even though I lose more. It's still a good trade for me. France, oh my goodness gracious, that looks like my that looks like the way that I do trades, like that, where I lose 3 infantry, had to retreat with a fighter. I just lost the 1 infantry set and actually held on to the territory. So I'm gonna this is gonna get me back in this game. That battle in France. So I'm gonna drop an industrial complex right now in France. I should be able to defend it. He doesn't have enough to take it next turn if I drop enough in there. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I can deploy guys right next to Berlin. That'll be great for trying to take it. So I'm gonna try to take West Russia, do Burma again. So just do Blitz and get Archangel. Obviously, there's a substantial Japanese force to the south, so I can't really devote even a single infantry, really, at least at this point. Maybe Russia can, we'll see. But anyway, this is Burma. And just more of the same. There we go. Okay. Just took an extra round. Take West Russia. We'll try to take West Russia. Just one hit. No hits back, so that's good. Okay, we'll take that. I suspect he's going to take Caucasus now that I'm not able to defend both Moscow and Caucasus. Thankfully, he did have to double back to get Eastern Australia, so that bought me an extra round. And now he's not threatening India as heavily, so I can move things out of there for now. Although when he does finally circle back, I might have to consider moving out of India. So we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm gonna try to reinforce my protect my investment of the industrial complex in France, because that's where that's going. That means I'm gonna have nothing on the aircraft carrier, but I'm well out of range of at least 2 of his fighters, so only 3 of them can reach me. So the amount of naval units there should be enough to deter him from going after them. So yep, here goes the industrial complex. And yeah, I'm not even deploying into well, I take it back. I am going to deploy into India this round because I have 3 infantry there, so should be able to do that. So yeah, so that's it for UK 8. I will be back for US 8, Russia 9. So yeah, this is US 8. So in order to hold France, I am going to have to devote some US troops to help you know, defend France and that new industrial complex that I just laid down there. So yeah, his Germany 8 move is right up there with my UK 6, my UK 5 round as far as disasters. It's a pretty big disaster for him, I would say. So gonna try to take advantage of it. I'm still taking Italy because it's, yeah, I gotta do that. I should be able to take Southern Europe too, but the rest of the guys are gonna try to help defend France, which means that I have an extra sea zone to defend this round. So I got to do 15, sea zone 15, sea zone 14, and sea zone 8. So those 3 fighters that are in Libya, I'm not going to use because they're going to need to fly to Moscow this turn to help defend, because the Japanese force in Kazakh is just too large to defend without them. So I won't be able to use them this turn because they won't have enough fuel to reach. So I'm gonna land some guys or land some planes in France, and just figure out. So those guys are going there. The bombers. I think I'm gonna land the bombers in France. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna take a few. Yeah, so you're gonna take those guys and go up there. So yeah, I'm leaving 1 transport behind, but that'll give me 5, 5, and 5. So should be good. Moving the aircraft carrier to season 14, so I have a battleship, cruiser, and destroyer. That should be enough to defend against the 3 fighters that are there. There's 2 fighters in Karelia I can't reach. So because of that, I'm moving up into Finland. Finally, I feel safe enough to do that. So this is kind of an important point here. So the destroyer and transport actually deploying on the western U.S. Side of things, just because now that he's swinging back towards the mainland, like I can take back Hawaii here and take back Australia, New Zealand, and things like that. So especially if he doesn't do anything, and it doesn't cost me very much to do that. So just trying to be annoying. I had the extra IPC in this particular scenario. I did couple with a destroyer, just in case there's a plane or something that caught me off guard. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Take the guy off of Wake Island there, and just take back Hawaii and the other things. So yeah, that's the plan at least. So 47 with the U.S. So yeah, I'm down by 3, but I imagine that's gonna change based on what happened in round 8. So like I said, it looks like a good full round for that to actually have the ripple effects felt. So we'll see how it looks for round 9. So yeah, no combat action for Russia, and no non-combat. Basically, I'm just staying put in Moscow. I don't really have anything I can do. I need all the infantry that I have. I need it all in Moscow. I can't even afford to do trades in Novo or Vologda, and I just can't. I need them all there because he's got so many tanks that are coming up. So that should be enough to hold this round. But yeah, we're not gonna be able to hold for very much longer. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that was Russia 9. I'll be back for UK 9. Okay, so this is UK 9. I'm gonna do this pretty quick. He bought 10 infantry, took back Northwestern Europe with no losses, Western Russia no losses, and Southern Europe with the infantry. So we're doing the trades. Took back Italy as well, no losses. So great trades for him again. This is the turn that I need to abandon India. Not because I'm kind of because I'm going to lose it, but as I buy 9 infantry and 3 artillery. But yeah, I just need to help Russia as much as possible because I'm not going to be able to hold Moscow for much longer. So gonna try a delaying tactic of some sort. Probably should have left a few turns ago so that I could indefinitely support Moscow, but as it is now, I'm 1 turn away from losing it. So yeah, gotta make some choices here. So round 10, I'll probably lose Moscow, so I have to abandon India right now. So I'm gonna take Northwestern Europe and bomb. Actually, I'm not gonna bomb Berlin. And again, it's the same thing. If I feel like I'm gonna need the bomber in the next round or two for a fairly substantial attack, I generally won't risk it in a strategic bombing raid. If I don't need it in the near term, then I certainly will. So these are the attacks. Pretty straightforward. Just taking back Northwestern. Should be able to. Probably should have taken this lighter, but I did want to. I should have enticed him to do a trade again for Northwestern. Been a lot easier to do that if he was using his infantry on the attack instead of the defense. But obviously, by going in with 6, I pretty much assure that he's not going to do that trade back. He just can't afford to lose those infantry. So should have Northwestern for the remainder of the game. So I'm moving up into C-Zone 5. I'm probably support with the destroyers from the U.S. and move everything else into Russia. Stay alive. Anyway, that's it for UK 9. I'll be back for US 9. Okay, this is US 9. I feel like I need to mention before I go into Japan's turn. I took Baltic States with the UK on purpose. That's why I had to push into C-Zone 5 with everything, and I was going to move my destroyers there as well. Although he shouldn't hopefully have enough. He has his 5 fighters, but yeah, Baltic States was to prevent his tanks from reinforcing Berlin. I know I'm going to lose Moscow on this next turn, so I need to set up for a 1-2 punch for the UK-US to take Berlin. So to do that, I need to make sure these 4 tanks don't make it back there. So that's what that's all about. So anyway, 1 fighter, 3 bombers, 1 tank. He is definitely setting up to attack Moscow with everything he has, which is understandable. He took India. He did sail across and take Egypt, and he took Burma too. So all as expected, except Egypt wasn't. But you know, we can handle that. So yeah, it's the U.S. I'm gonna buy 9 infantry, 2 fighters. Yeah, should be able to transport 1 extra infantry or the AA gun. It's kind of why I'm doing it. The math doesn't work out for 10, so I'm getting 9 instead. So first things first, I'm gonna take the Hawaiian Islands back since that is open to me. And then I'm going to go into, do my thing, go into Southern Europe again and Italy. This time I feel like it's going to be the last time. He can't realistically take these back without seriously compromising Berlin, so I don't expect him to. So this should be the last time that I have to go in here. Obviously I have enough planes to do it, and because of that I'm gonna strategic bombing raid Berlin. At least I'm gonna think about it. I might not end up doing that again. I feel like I'm gonna need the bombers next round, but yep, I'm gonna. So yeah, actually I did pull them back and I put them in Southern Europe, and yeah, so they're right here, the bombers here. So yeah, I did decide to. I cut this a little awkwardly, but yeah, I decided not to do the strategic bombing raid just because I'm gonna need the bombers next round to take Berlin. So it's not worth the risk. So take Italy. Yeah, good. No hits back. So great. Should be in there for good now. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out. I don't need to defend C-Zone 14 any longer. Push into C-Zone 5 with the destroyers and that. So yeah, moving everything out of Moscow now. Now's the time to do it. I have to start with the US to be sure everybody's out of there by the time Japan's turn comes around. And yeah, just getting my Air Force in range to hit Berlin next turn. After the UK goes. So the UK will soften up and should be able to mop up with the United States is kind of the plan. And all that's going to happen and Moscow's going to, so a lot of action is going to happen in round 10. Setting up for that. So I'm going to move back. Since I'm only bringing 9 infantry across, I imagine at some point I'll be able to bring my AA gun ashore. So, point in Eastern US, and that's it for US 9. So, Russia 10. Yeah, I have a 2-point lead. So it's still super close. So I'm just going to do 3 infantry mine as well. But everything's moving out of Moscow. There's just no way I can hold it. So I'm going to preserve what I can and leave them into it. Yeah, I kind of briefly toyed with leaving it there and just killing as many Japanese troops as I possibly can, but I think it's just best to save them, you know, where I can. I didn't show the combat this round. I took it without any casualties, so or I think I lost 1, but yeah, now we're even after the UK's turn, after that deployment. So yeah, we'll see how round 10 is going to be the biggest round here. And yeah, we'll start with UK 10 when I come back. Okay, so this is UK 10. Setting up for the double attack on Germany. So that cutoff in Baltic states worked out, so he wouldn't be able to get his tanks back to save Berlin. He did, but he did move everything there to take it back. He did also take back Ukraine and Belarusia, so doesn't want to let me have that. So I'm going to take out the transport that he used to attack Egypt. I don't know if he did that on purpose or what, but he left it there, so I'm going to take it. Yeah, and the only reason I'm taking Caucasus back, normally I don't do that because, I mean, I guess I can. It's just to keep the Japanese tanks from blitzing across and trying to help out Berlin. I will make sure Berlin is completely cut off. So, yeah, so with the UK, I am going to take Ukraine and Belarusia. I don't want to take any more territories with the USSR because obviously they're going to lose Moscow this round, so it's going to be some dead income. So I'm going to make sure I take these with the UK and then move what's left of the Red Army into Ukraine to protect it. So, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I move some tanks and some planes into Belarus and Ukraine to take that. So I'm gonna obviously attack Berlin with everything I have, hopefully to whittle it down as much as possible. I do have a chance to take this outright. I don't know if I really want to do that. I really kind of want to take it with the U.S. It'd be a little better if they had a industrial complex there, you know, in Germany. So, so anyway, here we go. So average bombardment. So pretty good round for me. It was really good, and a pretty good round for them back. So. So, yep, I'm just going to keep going, try to get rid of as many as I can. So, there we go. 8 and 7. So he's obviously winning this so far, but again, I'm just whittling it down. And I'm just kind of doing some quick counting and make sure I don't lose. Try not to lose planes, really, is I don't want to do that, so. So got 5. So kind of lucked out there on the last round. um, yeah, I won't be able to kill the rest of this, and I do want to kind of save those planes, so I'm going to get out of here. So I did calculate with the U.S., even if he does fly his 4 fighters that are in Kazakh right now over to Germany, I should still be able to take it with the U.S., barring some crazy dice luck. So here's Belarusia. All misses. Okay, all hits. I only need 1. Not a great trade, but it works. Falls too, I lose another tank. So all in all, it was an okay round. Would have preferred to not lose 2 tanks there, but it is what it is. So I do need to protect the C-Zone 5 because, oh, I guess I don't so much. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, obviously he could bring his planes there. 1, 2, 3. No, he can't even do that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he can't. Yeah, there's no real good reason. But anyway, I'll move into Transjordan. So yeah, moving out of Moscow. Just moving my planes out of the way. Just want to discourage a yeah, I don't really need these here. I just kind of need them in the area, so this is okay. So I'm just going to leave 1 infantry back in Persia. Got everything else to there. So yeah, I'm set up to try to retake Africa and yeah, to support Germany when the U.S. takes it over. So yeah, that's it for UK 10. Oops, I deployed it wrong. I want to get 6 into France. So there we go. So that's it for UK 10. I will be back for US 10 and Russia 11, which Russia's just going to be moving because it's Moscow's going to fall this turn. So anyway, that's it. Okay, so this is US 10. This is the big one. So yeah, he did take Moscow. Took Libya back, Rhodesia, so he did float a transport down there to do that. Took Persia back, took Caucasus back, and obviously took Russia. But my 3 Russian infantry did kill 1 of his, so good for it. Yeah, it's to be expected. Like I said, I couldn't hold it any longer, so I had to get out of there. So that's it. He did move his planes to Berlin, so. I still calculate it to be like a 98, or 99% chance to win. So I did kind of wrestle back and forth as to whether I wanted to do 12 infantry and a bomber, but I settled for 10 infantry and 3 tanks. I'm going to drop 3 tanks in Italy, obviously. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm going to be more of a pest. I thought about taking Eastern Australia. I don't know. I must have just missed. I thought that would put my transport in risk. Obviously, it wouldn't. So I opted to go for New Zealand instead. It doesn't matter. Just one of these is really what I'm after, just to make them retake it. So yeah, that's it. And then I'm gonna obviously go into Berlin here. So I'm just checking to make sure that I have an escape route. Just trying to see where he might go, just to make sure I can get out of there. I'll lose my transport and probably link up with a fleet that I build in the Pacific later. So I am going to take back Libya, though. I can, because I have transport, so I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to move into Southern Europe. So just some thoughts. So the battleship and the cruiser. I thought about doing the cruiser up north, but I just did both on Libya. I did do that originally, but I think I moved it. So the rest of this is going to go into Germany. So I'm gonna should have a total of 7 fighters, I believe. Yeah. So, and 2 bombers. So I do have quite a bit of planes up in there. Yeah. So even with these 4 fighters, it should still be victorious there. Not sure I understand the move of 4. I get that he wants to try to save Berlin. I get that, but I kind of get the sense that we're just kamikazing our Japanese fighters. But I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is there, but yeah, it's kind of my thought. So I'm just checking things over. Like I said, I decided I'm gonna move. So yeah, it's 14, 7, and 2, and yeah, I'm gonna do the calculation. Yeah, I still have a very significant win percentage here, so I don't. Yeah, not exactly sure what's going on there, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's the combat. Oh, the change. I'm gonna move the cruiser to bombard there. So I'm just doing straight infantry into Southern Europe. So hopefully one of these bombardments hit. Okay, good. Okay. And then this is just 8 infantry, so I need 2 hits out of these guys. So luckily one of my multipliers hit, so yeah, didn't have to do multiple rounds there. It's good. So here's a big one. So one of my big multipliers hit, so I actually had a very good first round. He had a pretty good first round himself. So, but I did get everything. So, yeah, I ended up killing all his fighters. That's a big win. 101 IPC loss. So that's a pretty big swing in my favor. So, yeah, just gonna keep the train going. Yeah, I'm gonna put some pressure in the Pacific. I just don't want him to have to never think about it again. So just want him to give some more thoughts to it. Yeah, obviously need to clear out Berlin, but I should be able to keep it even from a counterattack. Although I don't know, counterattack possibly could work, but I'm sure he doesn't want to do that. He just want me to, get the sacking IPCs twice. I'm sure. So yep, that's it. That's it for US 10. Let's put my stuff in. Okay. So Russia's turn. Obviously, I don't have any purchase phase, so it's just combat, which I'm also not going to do. So it's just essentially moving the guys back. And I was toying between Belarus and Ukraine. I ended up going for Ukraine just because he can potentially take it with 12 tanks if I don't. So I'm gonna protect it. I'll have the UK's turn also to protect it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Be able to. You can't get to Belarus easily, at least. So that's the way to go. So that's Russia 11. So I'll be back for UK 11. Okay, so it's UK 11. He didn't do anything. It's Germany's turn. He just stood where he was. So I'm gonna do 9 infantry, 2 artillery. Pretty standard, I guess. Just more ground units. So the UK's income is a little low in comparison to the other powers that are still in this game. So definitely want to fix that. So I'm gonna try to crush what's left of the German army here. So gets through here. And let's see there. And yeah, I'm gonna obviously try to take back Egypt as well. I'm putting more things into Baltic states just to make sure. I just want to kill it in as few rounds as possible. It's kind of the idea. Obviously. So yeah, why not bring the tank? Sure. So yeah, I'm gonna take out Egypt. Seeing if there's any place else I can move that fighter. So yep, that should be it. So here we go. Lucked out there, didn't lose any planes. I think I'm owed that from the round 7 France attack that I lost 2 planes in that. So yeah, owed something back. Yeah, so pretty good round. Just lost infantry to and got rid of the rest of his army. So. And yeah, I'm not taking Karelia because that's dead income for him. So I certainly don't want to give Japan more. Japan already has quite a bit. So I'm not going to take Karelia, at least just yet, until I feel I have a stronger presence in Europe. Good thing that fighter came. Fighter was the only one that hit. So yeah. Yeah, it's moving out of there. And he does have the 3 bombers now in Kazakh, so that 2, 3, 4. So he could hit my fleet in Sea Zone 5 and land in Archangel, well enough away for me to not be able to, meaningfully attack him. So yeah, I am kind of counting that up. So I got to make sure that either I have it well protected or I move it completely out of there. So yeah, just moving my submarine around too. Can't forget to do that. So the bombers can hit, but he still would. It still wouldn't be a smart move for him to take that side. I'd still win that fight. But obviously, if he gets his fighters in range, I gotta think about moving the Sea Zone 5 fleet. But as of right now, it's okay. So that's it for UK. I have a little bit of a lead now, given the last 2 turns, the US and the UK, actually the last round and a half, I guess, kind of got me a little bit of a lead here. So I'm going to try to hang on to that for as long as I can and just slowly whittle away at Japan. So anyway, that's it. We'll be back for your US, US round 11. So this is US round 11. This will also be UK round 12. And I guess USSR round 12 too. So I'm going to go all the way around because Germany doesn't have any more units at all. So it just has Karelia, and it's obviously it's dead income. So just Japan left. So yeah, I'm just building I got a lot of influx of cash from getting Germany. So I'm going to build a fleet in the Pacific to start threatening his stuff there, just to keep him from moving everything west to meet the combined UK-US, and USSR actually have quite a bit left with them army. So I just want to make sure that he has to think about his back door. So yeah. So I'm considering, this is it. I could either go into to Transjordan, or I could really hit this hard. And this isn't a bad idea. It's not bad. It's not a bad idea, but I really do want to make a significant challenge in Africa. I don't want him taking it. So I almost did this, but I believe I ended up, I'm just kind of looking at it. And it is unlikely, actually. So yeah, I didn't do the actual calculation, so it's possible I don't have enough to even take that. So no good reason to take. There's just not a good reason to take. I'm gonna check with my tanks too, but yeah, there's really no good reason to take a risk here. So I'm not going to, but I'm gonna check it out to see what it is. But yeah, I ended up not doing it, so I'm gonna go after Transjordan instead and just blow away whatever's there. And I'm gonna bomb. Yeah, I'm gonna bomb Caucasus. My bombers are idle. I only gonna bomb it with one bomber though. I kind of think that's the way to go because, yeah, I'm of the feeling if I get 2 6s and I can't get full damage with those 2 6s, then I really shouldn't send 2 bombers, right? So I can only get a maximum of 8 hits because it's only got 4. So I just the risk reward's not there to send 2 bombers. So I'm just gonna send a 1. So okay, good. And I do roll a 6, right? So if I rolled, yeah, if I rolled another 6, I'd only get 2 more, 2 more hits off of it. So it's just not worth it. Just 1 is fine. So I got Transjordan as well. Just gonna try to put up a front against Japan. Just gonna try to consolidate the coalition into Poland. Poland's the obvious choice to do it. Gives me access to all the territories around there. So yeah, I'm just gonna stack up in Poland is kind of the idea. I don't think I'll be able to indefinitely hold Ukraine or Belarus. I just won't get there in time. So yeah, I'll have to dead zone those areas or something. I don't know. So yeah, I have to drop them off in France because if I get any closer, his bombers and his fighters are close enough to hit me in Season 15. So that's why I'm not going all the way into Southern Europe with those units that were in Morocco. So I have to stay back in Season 14 just to stay out of range of his Air Force there. So yeah, just setting up for consolidation in the Pacific as well. So yeah, I'm gonna deploy the fleet here. Just checking something out. Good. So USSR's turn. Again, yeah, I'm not obviously doing any actual attacks, but I'm gonna move back, and just try to make a stand in Poland. So doing that. Yeah, I do want to obviously put one guy in Belarusia. But yeah, most of it's moving back. So. Yep, and then we're gonna skip Germany's turn, and I'll go straight into UK 12. I guess I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna do a 13 infantry buy. Yeah, I still have a sizable lead, so. That's all I'm doing. I don't really have any other attacks. Like it's more consolidation to put up a stand and try to slow them down while I get everything situated. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take the one. Whatever. So I still got my bomber. So yeah, consolidating everything up into. Yeah, I'm using the Russian troops for dead zone area. I figured it's better to use those. So yeah, we'll move up. Yeah, so I decided that maybe I should make a stand in Transjordan, put some planes here, and really make a stand, just to keep it, just so I can have control of the canal. And I'm sure he doesn't want me to have control of the canal, so he's going to find any way he can to keep that from happening. So, yeah, same deployment as last round, so it's looking pretty similar. Okay, back over to Japan, and I'll come back for US round. Yeah, we still have a good lead here, so just gonna try to finish it up. He does have quite the amount of troops though. He says it's almost 200 attack power, so it's certainly not over yet. But just trying to wind this thing down. So I'll be back. Okay, this is still trotting along here. It's US round 12. He went into Transjordan pretty heavily. He took basically most of the stuff in the south. He rolled up his tanks from India and used a lot of his air force to take out all the things in Transjordan. But he did leave his fleet vulnerable, so I'm gonna make him pay for that. Obviously he did take it, but I did lose. He lost something, but I did lose the 3 fighters, which I'm not particularly thrilled about. But like I said, he had to sacrifice a lot to do that, and I'm gonna make him pay this round, because the stuff in C-Zone 34 can't be allowed to survive after that. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have a substantial amount of planes there in Egypt that I can just send and take everything out there. That's what I'll be doing. So yeah, just 14 infantry and 2 fighters. So skip ahead here. Yeah, sorry, 2 destroyers, that is. So yeah, just again adding more to the fleet in the Pacific. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, there's under no circumstances can I allow this to occur without some sort of retribution. So yeah, even if I lose some planes, it's definitely something that needs to happen. So it's gonna go. So I'm gonna bomb Russia, or you know what? I think I'm not going to bomb Russia. I think I want every available plane to attack that. Yeah, just to make sure I lose the least amount of stuff. Checking my defense. I'm not sure why I'm checking my defense profile here. I don't remember, but I guess this is just in case I lose. I don't know. I'm always checking defense profiles, so it's just kind of one of those things. Because early on, I've forgotten to do it quite often. So anytime I'm thinking about it, I just look at it. Move up here. Okay. So yeah, move up to combat. This is a big one. Oh, yeah, 2 points. I got two of his planes and a carrier. Yeah, no hits back. So yeah, that was a pretty good trade for me. Just lost 2 planes. Yeah, got his fleet out of the way. It kind of secures Africa, at least for the short term. I mean, he can't. He's got 1 infantry now in there, and he can't get any more unless he comes through the group of units that are in Egypt, and I'll be able to put some more down there too now that his fleet is out of the way. He doesn't have as many planes, so yeah, should be good. Yeah, moving, stacking up into Poland as I mentioned. So yeah, I'm just prepping for some more troops that are going to go into Africa. I want to make sure Africa is nice and tight and secure. I just can't afford to lose that income, especially to Japan right now. Just need to keep him where he's at and hopefully slowly whittle him down. So I am moving back because he does have a substantial amount of bombers and fighters there, so I don't want the same thing to happen to me that I just did to him. So moving back. So yeah, I'm just gonna consolidate my fleet here. Move the destroyers out. I think we're gonna be moving back to the UK. So yeah, I added some more to my fleet in the Mediterranean just because of the amount of planes that he had. So yeah, two more infantry in the western U.S. and I just had 3 IBC left over, so yeah, what the hell, 1 more in eastern. So that was US 12. So good round for me there. Obviously Russia's not going to do anything. I'm not even going to move, so I'm just going to just blitz right through all this stuff. So yeah, UK 13. Gonna do. I think I'm gonna do the same thing. 13 infantry. Maybe not. Yeah, 13 infantry. I'm thinking about replacing some of the planes that I've lost. That's kind of why there was some hesitation. So yeah, I'm gonna trade Ukraine. Yeah, because a big air force will help me with these trades, which is kind of what I'm trying to do. Yeah, take back some territory in Africa. Take back Transtroy too. So Ukraine. Not great, but not great back, so kind of a wash. It's better around. That's a shame. So, a fairly decent trade. It could have gone better, but I'll take it. That wasn't good at all. That was awful. That was an awful round 1. And more of the same in round 2. My goodness. There we go. Okay, so yeah, it brightened up there towards the end. There. Just more of the same. Let's get everybody into Poland. Yeah, and I'm actually going to be back here. I'm moving the fleet back just to be out of range of his aircraft. Just so that I can have the aircraft on the mainland. I don't have to lose on the aircraft area. I don't necessarily need it. If I do, then I'll move back. But yeah, I'm just dropping them off in France for now. That was UK 13. So I'll be back. Hopefully we'll wrap this up soon. So he ended up forfeiting, so it's a victory for us. Good thing. So yeah, he did buy a lot of ground units, and I think the reason why he decided to go after Poland, it's probably long odds for him. I think he was, and, and I had a conversation, or I had a brief conversation. He kind of calculated that there was just no way that he could keep up with my troop deployments in Europe. So, yeah, it might have been a little early to withdraw, but I respect it. He's probably correct. It was certainly turning in my favor, right? And obviously that's why he decided to go for this attack. And I actually, thank goodness I had my aircraft guns go first, give me some extra attacks there. Yeah, so I was able to defeat all of his air force and a good portion of his army. Yeah, especially now. Obviously, after this, there was no way. But yeah. So yeah, good game. Good game to him. It was very close. Berlin and Moscow falling in the same round. Lots of swings back and forth. I felt like I was winning early. Then I had 2 bad rounds, 6 and 7, that swung the momentum back to him. He was going, and there was a key round, I think it was 8 or 9, that he was not able to take back France. And when that happened, I was able to put a industrial complex and support it with U.S. troops, and was able to just get a foothold in Europe, and that was enough for me to finally take over Berlin. And then he was maybe a round too late in moving back to defend Berlin. Finally, he was very sticky here in Karelia. He wanted to keep those guys there for long, and he kept them about a round, probably too long. And then he moved his fighters from, I don't know, where it was here, his Japanese fighters to help Berlin. I don't know that was really a great call, because you just lose your fighters. It was kind of a suicide mission for the fighters. I don't know. Probably better to keep those. Kind of like I did. I saw the writing on the wall and just left Moscow. And I was able to save those infantry, to fight in this wall here. Which proved to be very advantageous, because I was able to hold Japan right at this line while I reinforced, while I got my numbers in Europe up. So yeah, it was a good game all around. I mean, I never did get a chance to deploy this, but obviously I was, I had plans on making him have to defend all of this over here, maybe even down here, depending. He didn't really have his fleet. He was moving around this way, I guess. I don't know. That now doubly sure if he's going to abandon the Pacific. I mean, I would have had free reign here to do what I wanted, and I certainly would have taken advantage of that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's going to try to take Brazil and come around this way. I don't know. But obviously that would have been annoying, taking Brazil. But yeah, it just didn't work out for him here, so he couldn't really do much. So anyway, that's the game. Good game. Very nerve-wracking for me. Like I said, I thought I was going to lose most of this, and yeah, I'll move on to the round of 16. So catch you in the next one.